Hi, today we're going to continue with our math learning target 3C1, add and subtract whole numbers fluently within 1,000. We've already been practicing with adding numbers. Today we're going to move into subtracting whole numbers up to 1,000 with or without regrouping. So let's take a look back at where we started. Back in first grade, we would do problems like 5 minus 2. We might do a count up strategy starting with 2 and then counting up to 5, 3, 4, 5. And the answer is 3. Then in second grade, we moved up to 2-digit numbers, like this problem, 57 minus 36. We knew that we had to start in the ones place and do subtraction or subtract in the ones place first. So if we look at our numbers in the ones place, we have 7 ones minus 6 ones gives us 1 1 left over. And then if we do the same thing in the tens place, we have 5 tens minus 3 tens gives us 2 tens, making 57 minus 36 equal to 21. Now, another thing that we got introduced to in second grade was the idea of having to regroup. We know we have to regroup when, sorry, that looks kind of funky. Let's try that again. When we try to subtract, like in this problem, 63 minus 46, and we see we have 3 ones minus 6 ones. We cannot take 6 away from 3 because we don't have enough. So what we have to do is we have to go next door and borrow or regroup. So we're going to borrow a 10, leaving 5 tens left over. The 10 we borrowed is going to come right over here into the ones place. We're going to take that 10 and just chop it up into 10 ones. And then we're going to regroup. We're going to put our 10 ones that we borrowed and then the 3 ones we already had. We're going to put those together to give us 13 ones. Now we can subtract. 13 ones minus 6 ones leaves us with 7 ones. And then we go to the tens place. We no longer have 6 tens because we gave one of those tens next door to our ones place. So we only have 5 ones left. 5 tens left. 5 tens minus 4 tens leaves us with 1 10. So sometimes, we learned this last year, sometimes we have to regroup in order to subtract, and sometimes we don't. All right, so we're going to watch a brain pop video here, helping us to think about when we need to regroup and when we don't need to regroup, and what regrouping is.
Oh no, I lose 5 points. How many points do I have? I have 14 points, but I lose 5. Subtract the numbers in the ones place first. Wait, how do you subtract 4 minus 5? You can't subtract a larger number from a smaller number. How do you regroup with subtraction? When you regroup, these are 10 ones cubes and trade them for a tens rod. You can also take a tens rod and trade it for 10 ones cubes. You can borrow a 10 from the tens place and turn it into 10 ones. Now we have 14 ones and we can subtract 5 ones. With 9 ones. So 14 minus 5 is equal to 9. The soccer team has 45 raffle tickets to sell. They've sold 8 so far. How many do they have left to sell? Subtract 45 minus 8 to find the answer. Subtract the ones place first. It's not possible to take 8 away from 5, so we have to regroup. We can borrow one 10 and turn it into 10 ones. Now we have 15 ones, and we can subtract 8 ones. That's equal to 7. Now subtract the numbers in the tens place. We had 4 tens, but we regrouped one 10. So there are 3 tens. 45 minus 8 is equal to 37. A store has 62 robot toys. It sells 9 of them. How many are left? Subtract to solve. Subtract the ones place first. Borrow one 10 and regroup it into 10 ones. Now subtract the ones place. What is 12 minus 9? 3. Now subtract the tens place. We had 6 tens, but we regrouped one 10, so there are 5 tens. 62 minus 9 is equal to 53. Sometimes you won't have counters to help you regroup. How do you regroup with subtraction without counters? Grandpa bakes 24 cookies. Moby eats 7 cookies. How many are left? Subtract 24 minus 7 to solve. Since you have to borrow a 10, cross out the tens place and subtract one 10. Then regroup and add 10 to the ones place. What is 14 minus 7? 7. Now subtract the tens place. 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. So 24 minus 7 is equal to 17. When you subtract without counters, it's easier to write the sentence up and down. But always make sure you line up the places correctly. First, subtract the numbers in the ones place. Since you have to borrow a 10, cross out the tens place and subtract one 10. Then regroup and add 10 to the ones place. What is 11 minus 6? 5. Now subtract the tens place. 8 minus 0 is equal to 8. So 91 minus 6 is equal to 85. You can use addition to check your answer. What is 85 plus 6? 91. I know my answer is correct because the numbers match up. It's always a good idea to check your work. You won? But you have fewer points than me. Wait a minute, that spot wasn't there before.
Okay, there's been a little rhyme set up to help you remember when you need to regroup. Subtraction with regrouping. So this is a little picture for you to use as a resource if you ever need reminding. If there's more on top, no need to stop. Go ahead and do your subtraction. If there's more on the floor, in other words, if the bottom number is more than the top number, then you need to go next door and get some more before you can do the subtraction problem. Okay, let's do a couple of practice problems together. So let's start with 53 minus 19. If we look at our ones place first, we have 3 ones, but we need to take away 9 ones. We can't do that because we don't have enough. There's more on the floor, so we need to work some more. Let's go next door and borrow a 10, leaving us with 4 10s left over. The 10 we borrowed comes right over here, and then we regroup our ones. We have 10 ones plus 3 ones gives us 13 ones. 13 ones minus 9 ones leaves us with 4 ones left over. Now we're ready for our tens place. 4 tens minus 1 10 leaves us with 3 tens. So 53 minus 19 equals 34. The next problem, 41 minus 24. We look at our our ones first. We have 1 1 minus 4 ones. Again, we have more on the floor, so we need to borrow some. So if I borrow one of my tens, that leaves 3 tens left over. The 10 that I borrowed, I put right over here in my ones place. And then I group together those ones, 10 ones, plus the 1 1 I had, gives me 11 ones. 11 ones minus 4 ones equals 7 ones left over. 3 tens minus 2 tens leaves me 1 10 left over. All right, our last practice problem is 75 minus 69. Starting with our ones, we can see we have 5 ones minus 9 ones. We cannot take 9 from 5, so we have to go next door and borrow some more. So if we borrow one of these tens, that leaves us with 6 tens left over. The 10 we borrowed comes over here into the ones column. And we have 10 ones that we borrowed plus the 5 ones that we already had. Gives us now 15 ones to work with. 15 ones minus 9 ones leaves us with 6 ones. Then on our tens place, we have 6 tens minus all 6 tens means we have no tens left over. So we're going to leave that blank, saying that 75 minus 69 equals 6. Now, if it makes you feel better, you can put the 0 there because 0, 6, and 6 are equal to one another. Okay, on the last page, you guys are going to practice on your own. Some of these problems will require you to regroup, and some of them will not. Good luck.